say I'm a company.
Okay.
Me.
Fabulous. Congratulations.
I've just become a company, and I want to get involved with EOS, but I don't really know what type of technology that I need, or what type of video format that I should have. What are some of the suggestions in regards to the basic hardware that a person needs to really maximize the performance?
What we're really trying to do with EOS, because it's a cloud-based software solution, so anybody with internet access can log in and start to work. We actually have designed it as an integrated platform, so you don't have to go build your own hardware infrastructure. You don't have to have deep technical knowledge necessarily on what encoding format or things that you want. You can do it all in the cloud system, so that now you can focus on just adding content and building a user experience, rather than going and figuring out which version of what app you want to buy and having to bolt together what I call Frankenstein's monster, where you get bits and pieces from everywhere and then you have to care and feed for that monster.
Right.
Now I've got a solution I can log into, and I can spend all my time on the web design, the experience that I want to deliver, the content management, the editorial process, and not on building infrastructure.
Okay, well that's very nice. Then my little company then wonders, well, say I have this content that I've created and I'm creating new content. Does EOS have a way of storing and backlogging and archiving material, and does it last more than a year, say?
Yeah, so we focus more on the front-end distribution, right? So archiving, things like that, probably not the best solution for that. But what it really does is puts power in the hands of the website operator or the brand manager to be able to publish that content, refresh that content. If you want to allow users to upload their own content, and then be able to manipulate how that content represents itself on its website, that's what it's more designed for. So it's in some ways an Uber system laying on top of an archive or a production system, and how do I get that to the screen that the consumer sees?
What would one actually classify as premium content? Is that a video stream, or is that photos?
Well, it really depends on the context in which that content is delivered, and we typically take a pretty broad definition of premium content. We really believe produced content designed by great people like yourself who have that editorial eye and edit it down to the real concise story, that's premium, right? So it's unlike the YouTube environment, where the majority of that stuff out there is either, frankly, repurposed premium content, or there's only so many videos of cats falling on trees, right? And those are funny for a while, but if you want to engage deeply with a story and a brand and have that emotional impact that media can have, you're going to go to the experts, right? There's only so many Steven Spielbergs of the world, and you want to hear their stories.
What are some of the formats that you have in place that really help a person understand how to not necessarily make the content, but make the content that's really going to work?
And this is something the industry is really grappling with right now, is how do you use social to deliver a new audience experience, a high value experience. So really, if you think about it, the evolution of social media within media companies is, first they typically got into it for communications because it was cheap, right? And I'll just throw something out on Twitter or throw my videos on YouTube. And ultimately, one day they woke up and they said, I have 1,000 people following me or whatever. And now, wow, there's some audience here that I can have a promotional impact with. The third area that we're really getting into, which is kind of the question you're asking about, is, okay, now that I have this audience and I can market to them, is there some other value? Is there a way I can monetize that?
Right.
And ultimately what we believe is use all those other third-party social destinations like MySpace and Facebook and Twitter and everything, but ultimately you have the power of the brand. You want to bring people back to your brand so that you can have that direct relationship with the audience and ultimately get them to pay you for your premium content. So what we tell people is, from a social perspective, you need to think about the whole strategy and the portfolio of tools you have, and how are you going to move that audience along to have an engagement with your brand, which hopefully should be taking place on your site.